March 10th, 2020 to order, and I'm going to request that the city clerk call the roll.
Mayor Weissman.
Here.
Vice Mayor Narosky.
Here.
Commissioner Landman. Here. Commissioner Dr. Marks.
Here.
Commissioner Mizrahi.
Here.
Commissioner Shelley.
Here.
Commissioner Weinberg.
Here.
Mr. Lawson. Here. And Mr. Wolfen. You have a quorum.
Thank you so much. I'm now going to ask Major Captain Friend Skip Wassa to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your right hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
That's right.
City Manager, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
Great. Okay, we have a number of special presentations tonight. The first presentation, and I'm going to ask, is Tofa Emanofa here? Tofa, would you come on up?
Good evening.
And would you please tell the commission and the audience a little bit about your organization?
Yes, good evening all. Honorable Mayor Weissman. My name is Tofa Eminova. I am the founder and president of Azerbaijani American Cultural Association of Florida, and also sponsor and partner of Florida Keys International Music Competition. Our organization was established 2006. It's a non-profit organization, and I request the proclamation for contribution for the city of Aventura, and I would like to say big thank you for approve this request.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's our pleasure to give you this certificate of recognition, and this is for the rest of the members of your group that I
Thank
know
you so
could not be
much.
here tonight.
Thank you.
For the next order of business, I'm going to ask the commissioners to please come down. We have an incredible group of people that work with us on the Community Services Advisory Board, and we want to recognize their efforts. So, in no particular order, some of the people might not be able to be here tonight. If they're not, we sincerely hope that they're not ill or under the weather, but go ahead.
I didn't see Daniel Naim here, but Daniel Naim is usually here.
Coming a little later, I'll take it.
I didn't say you can give it again.
And this is from Michael Stern, past commissioner.
Try this one.
Sandra Kaplan.
She's here.
He's here.
Congratulations.
And I have one for Jonathan Evans, who is chair of this group.
Ooh.
No hands.
Oh,
Howard, you didn't get one?
My appointee is here. I'm very happy.
Okay, okay.
I have David Pulver. Congratulations. Thank you.
Marjorie? She's here. Marjorie. Last name. Margie's always here. We love her.
And I have, she's not here, but I have Sherry Superfine.
Okay, and we sincerely want to thank every one of you for the effort and time and commitment you put in to making Aventura the wonderful city that it is. We all thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Aha. I should have had all the commissioners stay down there. Come, go back down. I have to walk down. Everybody's walking down. This is very good. Yep. Everybody. And I'm going to ask former Vice Mayor Billy Joel to join us.
Okay, Julie. Nice to see you.
Skip. Third or fourth day in a row. I don't know if all of you know Skip Washa or not, but he's given his life to law enforcement in many different arenas and fields and for different municipalities, and we were so lucky to have him in our city. He retired. We would have kept him, but doesn't he look like a retired gentleman? So I'm going to pass this around. This is from all of us, and Billy, I'm going to ask that you start the whereases, please.
Whereas William Skip Washer Jr. started with the City of Aventura Police Department as a police captain on November 4th, 1996, and was ultimately promoted to police major on October 1st, 2011. And whereas, as a testament to his character and faith bestowed by his fellow officers, Major Washer was elected to serve on the Police Pension Plan and Trust Fund Board of Trustees in February 2012. And
The Board of Trustees selected Major Masha to serve as its chairman, a position he has continually held until 2012. Whereas Major William Skip Washer Jr. retired from the Board of Trustees on February 21st, 2020, in conjunction with his retirement from the Aventura Police Department on February 28th, 2020, and
Whereas the City of Aventura would like to recognize and thank William Skip Washa Jr. for over 23 years of devoted service to the City of Aventura Police Department, as well as 8 years of dedication as chairman of the Police Pension Plan and Trust Fund Board of Trustees.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Enid Wiseman, as mayor and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, do hereby proclaim March 10th, 2020 as William Skip Washa Day.
first of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and obviously the commission. It's been a wonderful ride for me for the last 23 years, having been one of only 4 to be hired to start the police department here. Something that many professional police officers never get the opportunity to do. You get to work the job, but you never get to start something from nothing. And it was truly an experience that I'll never forget. The backing that we have gotten from the mayor and the commission throughout my 23-year career is great. You all have a fabulous police department. It's an excellent run police department. The men and women go out there to do the best job they possibly can for you. And I'm happy and I pray that they stay safe. And I'm happy for this opportunity to actually retire. Enjoy my kids. Thank you all very much.
And
Daniel, I
Daniel?
just like to come in, so. This is the,
Thank you so much.
we saved it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Elbows.
Although, and I'll say a few words in a minute, but I was told by a medical professional, you're not even supposed to touch the elbow. So air kisses, air high fives, let's all be safe about this for now. You can always go live long and prosper. No. It's good exercise, Mark. There are no Employee Services Awards this month, but it's time for our update from ACES, Aventura City of Excellence School update. I know the principal is quite ill today, but I think somebody's here from the school. By yourself? Come on up, right up there. And tell us your name, darling.
My name is Isabel Alvarez, and I'm a 7th grade student at ACES. Good evening. I've had the privilege of attending this awesome school for 4 years, and I'm happy to be here tonight to share some of the incredible things we're doing. This month at ACES, our Cloud9 character education focused on gratitude. One of our middle school Eagles proposed a Valentine's Day drive where we collected stuffed animals and candy. We donated over 330 teddy bears and 100 bags of candy to Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital and the oncology unit at Nicholas Children's Hospital. Our annual K-5 Boosterthon fundraiser kicked off with students collecting pledges. We set a $20,000 goal and celebrated with a glow run where families were invited to attend and cheer on their Eagles. Our families also joined us for our Coffee Connection, which featured the STEAM Ferris Wheel projects, 5th grade's Black History dioramas, 7th grade Black History Month plays, and 8th graders performing their spoken word in a poetry slam. In addition, 8th graders celebrated Black History with the Wax Museum, where students researched an important African American figure, created a costume, and performed in a live-action museum where students could visit and learn about their historical figure. Career Day was also a success with over 50 speakers and guests, including the City of Aventura SWAT and K-9 team, Florida Fish and Wildlife, the Cadena Initiative, local fire department, government officials, NBC6, Aventura Marketing Council, and our very own Commissioner Mizrahi. Our Eagles enjoyed presentations from a wide array of career possibilities, and we hope to build more partnerships with our community. In other news, our 4th grade Eagles took a field trip to the Everglades, 6th grade attended the Bowen Valley trip, and 5th grade visited the Kennedy Space Center for the first time. Our 8th graders celebrated their years at ACES by designing a special tile that would be showcased on the 8th grade tile wall, and had their last pep rally this past week. Thank you for the opportunity to share just a few of the many great things happening at ACES, where excellence is the expectation, not the exception. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much. Next, we have the assistant principal from Sofer High School, Pam Clapier, and please come up and introduce the student giving us the report on Sofer High.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to have this presentation to you all. Tonight, I'm bringing with me a little dynamo at our school. Her name is Valeria Badra. She is an amazing student. Out of her 7-period schedule, she's taking 5 Cambridge or college-level courses, doing exceptionally well in all of them. In addition, she is the co-founder of our Model UN team, who did a competition earlier in the month and did exceptionally well. So she'll be filling me in on those things. But again, thank you for the opportunity. Valeria.
Thank you, and thank you for letting me be here. For our February highlights, congratulations go out to Model UN team members who assisted their first competition on February 21st and 22nd at the Miami-Dade College. Out of the 40 schools competing, our brand new team did an outstanding job, especially considering they were competing against teams made up of juniors and seniors, and considering how late and quickly we had to assemble the team. Out of the 16 total awards given, the Barracudas took home 4 honorable mentions, which are second place in Model UN. I would like to thank the school for giving me and my co-president, Sofia Adelberg, the chance to carry out this team this year. Additionally, congratulations also go out to our competitive drone team as they upset the powerhouses of South Florida drone schools in both rounds of the South Florida Regional Drone Competition. They literally never saw us coming. On Saturday, February 22nd, during the first round, the Barracudas finished second place out of 9 schools overall. Considering this was our first competition, we had a spectacular showing. On Saturday, March 7th, Team Barracuda continued their success, round 2, by placing second again. According to the team sponsor, Dr. David Buncher, this competition had the finest level of drone pilots that he has ever seen in a competition. This demonstrates just how very talented the members of our drone team are. Their next competition is in April. In regards to academics, FSA and EOC letters containing testing dates and other pertinent information went out to all parents. Cambridge NAP letters with testing dates and additional information are soon to follow. Course selection sheets are being finalized by guidance and will begin meeting with students to map out their 10th grade courses for the 2020-2021 school year. A PSAT, SAT, and ACT prep course is being rolled out utilizing the very effective program by Ray Das. The program will be made available to approximately 50 students this year, while the entire student body will be utilizing the program next year. All students will benefit from using this program as it is geared towards improving scores on the PSAT, SAT, and ACT college entrance exams. Our lottery process ran very smoothly this year. 199 out of 201 students have recommitted for 10th grade next year. 230 offers were made, with all the offers being either accepted or declined. 178 registrations are complete, 72 registrations are in process, and 228 people are on the waiting list, 45 of which are residents. On the athletic topic, we have just begun our spring sports and are fielding full teams in young men's volleyball and young women's flag football. The student athletes are practicing incredibly hard to get ready for their games. We really look forward to cheering them on to success. Go Barracudas! On the budget, we are heading into our annual budget cycle for the 2020-2021 school year. Our budget is to be reviewed and approved in April. On a more personal note, I believe that despite the hardships of being a new school, we have a great potential for the future, and I am very excited of what's yet to come. Thank you.
And I'm very excited that you're there. Thank you very much. And next month, we will have the drones from Sofer High School at the commission meeting, correct, City Manager? Yes. Thank you. You need to see what kind of work these kids are really doing. Do I have someone from Michael Kropp Senior High? Okay, please, and please come up and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is David Brothers, and I'm the student government president for Michael Kropp. I'd just like to name a few of the previous achievements that have been happening recently. So as far as academics, 3 of the 30 students placing for the State and Science Engineering Fair were from Kropp. 2 of the 7 students selected for the International Science Fair were from Kropp, which is a very competitive, very esteemed competition. In activities, we had our Model UN team conferences have gained 4 honorable mentions and 4 outstanding delegates, and JRTC had a state drill competition in which it placed 5th in the state out of over 75 schools. As far as the arts, we had a jazz band, and concert band earned straight superiors at district performance assessments, and we had the Star Academy Magnet program presenting Dream Girls, April 9th, 11th, 10th, and 11th for all those who want to come. You're welcome. And as far as athletics, we had the girls soccer team win a district championship. Boys soccer team is a district runner-up. The boys basketball team advanced to regional play. The girls basketball team won a district championship and advanced to regional finals. And wrestler Isaac Joseph became GMAC champion and the 3rd-time district champion, as well as 3rd in the state. That'll be all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Go Lightning. I also want to recognize 2 students from ACES. They're not here tonight, but they will be representing ACES in the Miami Herald Spelling Bee, and they are Samantha Gross and James Reese, a 4th and a 6th grader. I think I need to take a few minutes before we really go into the scheduled meeting and talk a little bit about COVID-19. Because it seems that that's all we hear about, whether it's on social media, the television, the radio, print, everything. I want you to know that our city has been so on top of this. And I have to say, Chief, I was with the city manager, and we were at a meeting of all the mayors of Dade County, and they were going over what responsible municipalities should be doing. And I turned to the chief and I said, have we thought about our assisted living facilities? And in 1 second, he handed me the 2-page letter that you had written. Every one of our assisted living facilities had been visited by our police department. They were made aware of everything they needed to do. This is before it was on the news, everyone. They were so in front of this. I can't tell you how happy and how proud I am of you, Major, all the work that the officers do under your leadership. Thank you so very much. You can find out about the virus as it continues to develop, grow, go away, whatever's going to happen, because we're pretty unsure right now of what's going to happen. All of our, meaning our cities, website, Twitter, Facebook, press releases, go to the management office in every condo in this city. So if you're not seeing something posted in your mailroom or wherever they post things in your building on bulletin boards, please talk to your property management, because we are sending them out very regularly. And there's a good list of precautionary measures to take to avoid getting sick. We're monitoring the CDC, county and state health departments for updates, and as soon as we get an update, we are disseminating it to all residents. As of this moment, South Florida is still rated as a very low-risk area. We're meeting with county elected officials and health officials. Part of the problem, as we saw it last week, is that there were conflicting messages in the Herald, on the nightly news. The mayor of Dade County made it very clear that he was not canceling anything, and almost simultaneously, the mayor of the city of Miami canceled Ultra and canceled Calle Ocho. So you have two very, very important, wonderful mayors, one canceling, one not. It's a municipal decision, okay? And we will keep our eye on it. Right now, the city manager is not giving me any indication that we'll be canceling anything at this time. We've met and worked with the Aventura Hospital. Both our police officers have worked with them. They're there on a daily basis. They've had there was a rumor out. We're really good at rumors in this city. There was a rumor out about somebody that did test positive. It was a rumor. There are no cases at the hospital, and they too are following all of the infectious disease protocols, which basically come down to isolation and containment. Our parents, the parents of our children attending Sofer High and ACES, have been receiving information from school staff in students' book bags, in writing, over the announcements, on robo-phone calls. And again, it's precautionary. It's precautionary. Most of it's good common sense and probably things we should be doing all the time anyway. And I think all of you know, wash your hands. Warm water, soap is probably the best thing. If you're used to doing it 3 times a day, make it 6. If you do it 6, make it 10. You can't do it often enough because it's the incidental touching of something. And hopefully no one's really susceptible, but that's how this disease is spreading. So we want to minimize it. Our custodial staffs, both in all of our government buildings and our schools, are wiping everything, including handrails on stairways, elevators, doorknobs, continuously, because those are areas that many, many people touch. As I said, we visited all of the senior living assisted facilities in Aventura, and we've not heard anything back from one of them that there's anything that they're in need of at this moment in time. But we will keep the public posted, and our city manager will keep us posted as things develop. Yes, Commissioner Mizrahi.
I just want to say something. Since there are cases in Broward County, Memorial Hospital has activated an app called Memorial Doc Now. You can get it in Google Play or your Apple Store. And for this month, you can get all the professional help you need with the code Memorial Cares, and it's free. So this, you can, if you're feeling any symptoms, you don't need to go to the emergency. You just download the app. They will answer every question, and if you do need, they will take you in immediately.
Thank you. Okay. Back to my published agenda. Item number 5 is our consent agenda. These are items that we've had really total agreement on, and I need a motion. Well, first let me ask, is there anyone who wants to remove an item from the consent agenda? Okay, then if not, I need a motion of approval for the items on the consent agenda, made by Commissioner Shelley, seconded by Commissioner Dr. Linda Marks. I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Landman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Mizrahi,
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley.
Yes.
Commissioner Weinberg,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Narosky,
Yes.
and Mayor Weissman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The next item is item number 6. It's our zoning hearings, quasi-judicial public hearings. I'm going to request the city attorney to read the procedures for quasi-judicial hearings.
Thank you, Mayor. This item 6, as you stated, is the quasi-judicial item. If any person desires to object or comment on this item, please inform the mayor when she requests public comments. An opportunity for persons to speak on this item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the city clerk, and the quasi-judicial statement is incorporated into the record.
Normally, the city clerk will ask.
Right, at this time, you may ask the city clerk to swear in any persons who desire to offer testimony on the item number 6, and following that, I'll read the title of that item.
Is there anyone who's going to stand up and talk to us about this item? If you are, please stand.
Need you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
I'm going to ask the city attorney to read the resolution.
Thank you, Mayor. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, approving a sign variance for the Aventura Shops Commercial Plaza at 3001 Aventura Boulevard, City of Aventura, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. I'm going to ask for a motion for approval of this resolution, made by Commissioner Weinberg, seconded by Commissioner Landman. I'm going to request the Community Development Director, Joanne Carr, to present to us the staff report.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been sworn in. I would like to enter the staff report into the record. The applicant, RK Aventura Shops LLC, is requesting a sign variance to permit 2 ownership identification logo signs on the west and southwest elevations of the one-story shopping plaza at the northeast corner of Aventura Boulevard and northeast 29th Avenue. The city code permits wall signs only for a tenant with its own frontage and entrance facing a public street, and this applicant does not have a tenant space in the plaza, therefore variance approval is requested. Staff is recommending approval with conditions. And here's the location plan. This is the one-story plaza at the corner of Aventura Boulevard and northeast 29th Avenue. It has a Walgreens, a Kosher Kingdom at that plaza. Here's the sign drawing. This is the ownership identification logo. The initials are K. The proposed logos are about 5.5 feet long and about 1.5 feet high for a total overall size of about 6.6 square feet. And this This is the proposed placement of the logos on the building, and these logos are actually on the building now. If you've driven by, they are up. So this is the location on the southwest wall.
Wait a minute, we heard you correctly, that this is already up?
These logos are already up. They were put up several months ago. We did not begin code enforcement action because we spoke with the owner, told him that a sign variance was required, and he made the application for sign variance. If we have not started code enforcement action, the signs can remain until the application is heard. If it's not approved tonight, of course, they would have to come down.
Thank you.
So this is the one that's on the southwest corner. This is Kosher Kingdom, and then Walgreens is this elevation. Now, for this sign, we don't have a permit yet, of course, and if these signs are approved tonight, the owner will be required to submit an application for a sign permit to the city, and it'll be reviewed according to code. What we don't know here on this one is where the roof line is, and what our code says is you cannot be more than 50, where there's a parapet above the roof line, you cannot be more than 50% above that roof line. And one of the conditions I'll read into the record later is we have to know that. If it is above the 50%, then it will have to be moved down a little bit on the wall. And this is the other requested sign. This is the elevation, the west elevation on Northeast 29th Avenue. You see the Kosher Kingdom logo, and the other logo is at this location now. Staff has evaluated the request using the criteria for sign variance in section 31-191M8 of the City Code, and finds that the two logos do meet those criteria. Staff is therefore recommending approval with the following conditions: that the signs submitted for permitting comply with these drawings that you've just seen, that the plans submitted for permitting shall indicate the roof line. Placement of the logos shall comply with the city code provision that no wall sign shall be erected more than 50% above the parapet. The third condition is that no other ownership identification logo shall be permitted on any other elevations of the building. And I'd like to just add one more clause to that condition: or on any other structure on the property. So the condition will read, no other ownership identification logo shall be permitted on any other elevations of the building or on any other structure on the property. The fourth condition is that the maximum illumination level of the logo shall not exceed 4,000 lumens, and that is due to a pending sign code amendment that City Commission heard at the last workshop meeting. Right now, there's 6,400 lumens, and the owner has agreed to dim those, if approved, to the 4,000 lumens. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I'm going to ask the applicant if they have any comments at this time.
Hans Altenot, attorney for RK Aventura Shops, also known as Renan Katz, the principal owner of the property, 17100 Collins Avenue, Suite 225, Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. When you receive a positive recommendation from staff and the city manager office, after spending 15 years as city attorney, you say thank you. And I appreciate the hard work that the city manager, especially Joanne, worked with us to make sure this application was presented to the city commission. And the principal client, Renan Katz, this is his first acquisition in Aventura. He's extremely happy to be in a city of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Hans. I'm going to ask if any member of the commission has a question or comment. Commissioner Shelley.
Just a quick question. Did I hear you say the sign is already there? Maybe I misunderstood.
Both signs are there.
It's already on.
They are.
So it was put up before the permit, is what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Mizrahi.
But Joanne, I understand that they haven't filed for a permit. Or
No, they have not.
they
filed.
haven't filed?
No.
So I think they need to file before.
Well,
right?
they cannot file for a permit, they're not permitted. They would not be permitted unless the city commission approves this sign variance.
Commissioner Dr. Linda Marks?
So I have a question. It was very interesting to put the sign up first and then to come to the commission, second. But I'm glad that Joanne was able to work with the company to get this thing resolved. However, do we have a time frame for when they must file for their permit and meet the necessary, restrictions that we are placing on this?
The condition was not, no, they did not have a time limit. We can certainly add to that condition that there's a time limit.
And what would you recommend?
I would recommend they've got the permit already, they've got the drawing already. I would recommend 10 days.
10 days?
10 days?
Yes, we'll work with Joanne, 10 days if we need an extension, we'll work with the staff if needed.
Well, that's not exactly what I heard. What I was hearing from Commissioner Dr. Marks is she wanted a time certain. So if 10 days may not work, then let us decide tonight. It's 15, whatever, Joanne, whatever you say.
The application, just to turn in the application, we can get it done in 10 days,
Okay.
okay? And if there's any revisions, obviously Joanne and I will work those out, okay?
Okay. Dr. Marks, you
That's
okay
fine.
with that answer?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Narodsky.
And I intend to support and vote in favor, but if you could, counsel, just to communicate to your client, I know it's his first property in Aventura, just not the way that we do business here. So basically, if you want to do anything, you need to ask Joanne. So if you could communicate that, that'd be great. Thank you.
We have already, and we appreciate the advice, and Mr. Katz will comply with the law.
And if you want to know what the logo looks like, I will ask the two gentlemen that are with you to please stand up because it's on both of their T-shirts.
This is Kenneth Cato and Ryan Curtis. They are the property managers. We have two property managers for that property. We're constantly upgrading it, constantly making sure that property stay clean. So Mr. Katz has put an emphasis to make this property one of his best properties.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Commissioner Weinberg.
Yeah, I'll just echo the thought that we would prefer that first you do the paperwork, then you do the actual construction. I'm glad you didn't put up the building and then ask for a permit, but it's not the end of the world. I was a little bit, I was happy there was actually a strip center that didn't have RK on it for a while, but I knew that time was limited. But, what you did is not the end of the world. I'm quite confident that that property will comply with our ordinances, our rules, the way we do things. The gentleman speaking for them is spent his prior life, many, many years, in a seat just like David Wolpen at our de facto sister city in Sunny Isles, and he's quite highly regarded, and he did a great job. So I'm sure he understands, and when he says we're the city of excellence, we're not really his favorite city, but we don't have to discuss that, but he does know what he's doing. I'm sure he'll be giving good counsel to RK. Now, my final point is, am I crazy, or is this a slightly tweaked logo? Is the RK different right now?
It's consistent with all
On A1A, the R and the K are the same on those centers also? Okay, thank you.
Anyone, any other commissioner? Okay, well, I would like to say, tell Mr. Katz, we're delighted to have him in the City of Excellence, and we hope he involves himself in many of our community endeavors. You are welcome. I'm going to open this item for public comment. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address this item? Then I'm going to close the item for public comment, and I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Landman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Marks?
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Dr. Marks?
I'm sorry, I was distracted.
It's a vote. We're voting.
Yes. Sorry.
Commissioner Mizrahi,
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley, Commissioner Weinberg,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Narosky,
Yes.
and Mayor Weisman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is item number 7, first reading ordinances, public hearing. I'm going to request the city attorney to read the ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, amending ordinance number 2019-14, which ordinance adopted a budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year by revising the 2019-2020 fiscal year operating and capital budget as outlined in Exhibit A attached hereto, authorizing the city manager to do all things necessary to carry out the aims of this ordinance and providing for an effective date.
Can I please have a motion for approval of the ordinance? Made by Commissioner Mizrahi, seconded by Vice Mayor Narosky. Can I ask the city manager to please explain the item?
Thank you, Mayor. Each year, Aventura does 2 budget amendments. This is our mid-year budget amendment where we reconcile fund balances that need to be carried over from the prior year, or we reappropriate money for projects that were either started last year and continuing into this year, or we have a project that came up unexpectedly and we have to put money towards it. And I'll give you examples of that in a second. Or projects that we just didn't anticipate that came up and that we're going to address. The roof of the government center was something we were hoping to get another year out of. We couldn't wait, so we had to appropriate about $269,000 towards that end. The locker room over in Don Sofra High School, we're appropriating $50,000 towards the engineering to that. Later on, we'll be coming back to look at monies for the actual construction. We also had a project, tennis court lighting was something that we're exploring, and we're moving forward on that, but that was a project that we started last year into this year. There were two capital projects in transportation for streets. There were 2 streets that we deferred only because there was so much construction in the area. We felt it would be not wise to fix the street while the trucks are running up and down. So we're going to be moving ahead with those streets. 187th and 185th Street, we'll be repaving those. There's a tune of $266,000 on one and $178,000 in the other. But that's the mid-year budget arraignment. That's the reason for the amendment.
Okay, I have a question, and the question is about the locker room.
Yes.
Do we have a time frame?
Well, right now, the engineering is just being completed. It'll be going out to bid shortly thereafter, within a
Can we
month.
define shortly, please?
I should have something in 2 months to come back where you'll be approving.
And how
it.
long would construction take? Because school opens in August.
We'll try to have everything completed before school opens, but it's really it's really depending on the construction firm who we pick and how fast they can do it. We'll be doing it as fast as we can. You have my word on that.
I'm going to open up this item for any comments from any commissioners. Okay, then I'm going to open it for public comment. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address this item? I'm going to close it for public comment, and once again, I'm going to say this is a top priority of the city to have a locker room so our 10th graders can compete with every other high school, probably in the country, with an appropriate locker room. And seeing as it is March, July, August, it gives you less than 5 months.
Well, I'm going to, just so you know, we've been working on this project ahead before it even came to commission. It was something we recognized early on that we were going to need. It was just conversation at that point. We had already started meeting with our architectural firm to give us ideas of where we could even have it. So this project actually has been in the works for several months already. We'll do our best to get it done. 5 months is doable, but it's going to be tight.
We built a school, an entire school. I mean, this can be done if it is a priority and the contract is written appropriately. So that would be my expectation. I'm only speaking for myself. As there are no other comments, I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Landman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Mizrahi,
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley, Commissioner Weinberg,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Narosky,
Yes.
and Mayor Weissman.
Yes.
Motion passes on first reading.
We have no ordinances for second reading tonight, and we have no resolutions for public hearing. So at this point, I need to ask if any members of the commission have any items they would like to report on. Commissioner Dr. Linda Marks.
I just want to comment on the fact that this morning was the state of the city of Aventura, and our mayor served us proudly in the wonderful presentation she did, and in listening to her, we know we have a great city, so I just want to compliment you on the beautiful presentation this morning, and we would hope that in the future we can get everyone to come because it's really a wonderful event.
I thank you so much for that. Is there anyone from the public? Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Weinberg.
Thank you, Mayor. At the monthly League of Cities Board meeting, it was held this month at the new and improved Miami Beach Convention Center. And William Talbert spoke, head of the Greater Miami Visitors and Convention Bureau, and he said basically that this is generally considered by the league to have been the best Super Bowl ever. And so I made sure that the 34 municipalities in Miami-Dade County were aware that the champions of the greatest Super Bowl ever headquartered in the greatest city. So it was a good moment. It was a great moment, for us as a city.
It's the water. Okay, any other commissioners? Okay. Anyone from the public wishing to address the commission? Okay, if no one wishes to address us on any items, then I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Made by Commissioner Landman, seconded by Vice Mayor Narosky. Thank you all. Be safe, take care, be careful.